President William Ruto should be someone who have to understand that you don't fight people, because if you have to fight people of your own country, well, you must know that they will destroy you because they are the majority and you represent a minority.
Proposals to the legislature. The legislature have interrogated those proposals. The public has interrogated those proposals. The public have recommended, through public participation, their feelings, their ideas, their suggestions, and because the people's representatives have listened to the people through public participation, they have adjusted the proposals from the executive.
Someone such as the President Ruto, as someone who came from the opposition political party, should have understand how these things works like, instead of him following in this kind of trap that will end up ruling his mandate before he even get to finish his term.
I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know, because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency, but his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. We call upon the Kenyan government to be firm and to decide what they want to be. Do they want to be Pan-Africanist, or do they want to be proponents of neo-colonialism? You can't have it both. Only one call must be made, and that call is of Pan-Africanism.
You all know that President William Ruto, he came from the opposition political parties. So someone like him, you should have known already how these games works. And you should have also tried to look back on how he became the president of that country, how there was some contest already who had to stand against him from day one before he sworn in as the president of Kenya. But unfortunately, the man, he seemed to forget all this just because maybe he's kind of like feeling more comfortable in his couch of presidents and feel more relaxed in his office. He ended up forgetting that no, there are people who've been watching him, and there are people who would like to remove him from the power because they never been on his side from day one. As you can see that on all the TV screen medias, they are talking about it because it is something that it is happening right now, and it is very surprising and very disappointing for most of you out there to see someone who came from the opposition political party, someone who's supposed to understand that it's not good to stop people from not manifesting their voluntary. It's not good to stop people from not showing their what they want by start shooting them and making the life of many people disappear just like that. So it is very important we come here and try to understand exactly what is happening on, like right now, what is happening, what is the main reason behind all this drama that we are seeing. Because looking at how things are sitting now on the table, I don't know what will happen next, because President Ruto never understand exactly what these people they were up to, what they were busy planning in order for them to get to this point where things are sitting right now. Well, guys, you should remember very well, President William Ruto is someone who came in power under a certain kind of circumstance which some people could not be on his side. Some people have to come and protest against the election result which came because they believe that they were the one who have won these elections. Some even went far by saying that no, they were kind of like tricks which took place in these elections. But above all, for the sake of democracy, for the sake of peace, all these people, they end up putting their gun down to at least accept and make peace with all this reality. But it seemed like that was not sitting okay with President William Ruto, because he end up falling in the trap of the opposition political parties. And we all know that in each and every country, opposition, their job is there to contest and protest against each and every actions that a ruling government can take. They'll push you to the point that you will have to give up to everything that they are planning to. If you don't want to give up, they'll make you end up committing kind of crimes so that they'll use it against you. So someone as a President Ruto should have seen this already and understand how these things works. But unfortunately, do not see all this. How did we get here? Because if there's still serious problem in Kenya, and President Ruto, as the president of that country, was not able to see exactly what was all this about, I think it was going to be something that was going to catch him up soon or later. And that's what is happening right now. President Ruto, when he's supposed to be focusing more on the demands of his people that they've been asking him back home, well, that was not the case with him. He was not doing all this. Do you know why? Because he had to go and focus on some kind of affairs with the US. You guys, you saw how they welcome him in the red carpet in the US by President Biden, who have to talk to took him around and show him around. And you also how there were kind of some rumors which was taking place saying that no, President Ruto had sell Africans, especially people of Kenya, to Joe Biden with his administrative. So you can see already that things, just because of this kind of action that took place, it was no longer putting President William Ruto to the right side of people. And remember, the moment when people can start have something to say bad about you, you should know that your days, you as a president of Republic, your days in the office will be that small. And someone like President William Ruto should have think of all this, should have see all this, and try to see on how he can either try to play along with people of Kenya or try to solve out this problem in a very good way instead of letting things to the point where it is right now. When these people start protesting in Kenya, well, all the measurements, all the solution that we are trying to see now that the government of Kenya are trying to come out with, they should have tried this before things get to this point where it is. But they fail. They end up pushing people of Kenya to the point of them going to attack the National Assembly. Guys, do you know what is a National Assembly mean to each and every countries out there? Because it's not for nothing they are calling it National Assembly. They call it National Assembly because it's something that represents people of a certain country. It is a place where people get to show all their angers, everything that they are against the country. They can manifest it through there. And before these people of Kenya go there and try to sabotage and destroy the parliament, they should have at least try to stop them from far away. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, you can't fight people. I mean, you can't fight people because people, they are the one who will always win no matter what. We've seen this around the world. There are even some head of the state who were killed in the hands of civilians, who were eliminated in the hands of their own people. Why? Because they try to challenge their people. You don't do that. And as again I said earlier, President William Ruto is someone who's supposed to see all this coming. It's someone who's supposed to understand that he don't need to doubt the power of the sovereignty of people of Kenya. Because these people, they'll definitely try to destroy everything around. If President William Ruto will have understand all this, I believe those people who lose their life over there, by this time maybe they'll have been sitting their home with their families. But he failed to control these situations, and now the situation have get even more worse. Now what next that President Ruto will have to do from all this? Because right now in his status, it is now more clear that no, he have committed crime. Because this killing of these people that you are seeing, it is under his leadership. So they are not going to give this responsibility to someone else who was not there as a command in charge. So President Ruto, whether he like it or not, everyone who died from this prostate, everyone who got injured through this tear gas and everything, well, everything will sit in the hands of President Ruto, because it's the one who's supposed to just give a word, and his militaries or police don't have obey to him and do everything in the good way. But he forgot about all this, because people of Kenya looking at it, they had already something which they had against him. And seeing him first starting welcoming King Charles of the UK in Kenya, knowing very well that his mother, Queen Elizabeth, they had committed serious crime in Kenya. Besides in Africa, they had committed serious crime in Kenya during the time of colonialism. They make people of Kenya work so hard under serious punishment. And this woman, until when she died, she did not even have the courage to come and apologize to people of Kenya. She did not even have the chance to say, to acknowledge at least the kind of genocide that they had that took place in Kenya. And here comes his son, the man whom supposed to feel more pressured, so that at least he can apologize even in behalf of the kind of crime that his mother had committed. No, they failed to even ask him for that. Instead, King Charles was welcomed in Kenya. They salute him by military ceremonies and everything that took place.
Putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army. This is not a Kenyan army, it's not a colonialist army. The Kenyan army is a product of the Mau Mau rebellion, and those who killed our people in the Mau Mau rebellion cannot be saluted by the same army of the children of those who were killed during Mau Mau rebellion.
And the next things now, recently you guys saw last month, President William Ruto, he went all the way to US, even though you know very well how people of Kenya feel about the US with their behaviors. He decided to go to the US, and then they welcome him the way they were supposed to welcoming him. And you can just tell her again that this is what we always tell you every time, that it is a strategy which the West they have in place in order for them to continue controlling African leaders. Someone like him should have seen all this and find the proper way to distance himself from all these kind of people. But unfortunately, he failed to do so. So while he's busy failing to do so, he kind of like, in meantime, revolting his own people. They keep on getting even more angry against him because of this so-called Ruto taxes and everything. If you come up with a new law and you see your people, they are rejecting it and refusing for this kind of bill to take place, well, you as a president of the republic, all you have to do is to back off. To back off and find a proper way to deal with this kind of issue. Because remember, you are there for your people. You are not there for your family. You are not there for yourself. I'm so disappointed personally. I'm so disappointed in President Ruto, because someone like him, it's someone who's supposed to understand how these things works. It's someone who's supposed to at least to have a clear idea that I've been in the opposition, I lead over there, I know how these things works. Because this matter started small, now it has grown. Today we saw how they throw the tear gas among thousands of people who were gathered over there. They shoot a real bullet which kills some of the people. Well, tomorrow they'll still again gonna come up and try to raise up the same problem, because the government of Kenya is suggesting for them to have a dialogue, and people of Kenya, they are rejecting this dialogue. They don't want to be part of it. Now, tell me who's in mess of among all these people, whether it is the government of Kenya, whether it's people of Kenya, who's in the big mess? Guys, Africa, we should try to understand one thing, that we don't need to be shedding the blood of our own people again after all things that we've been through. African leaders should try to avoid these things of standing on the human right of saying that no, you can't protest against me. Because what is happening in Kenya right now, it is all start because President Ruto could not pay attention to what people of Kenya they were trying to raise up as their point of view, that we are not happy about whatsoever you guys are trying to impose on us. But he failed to understand all this, and forgetting that there are some leaders, they can make you resign from the office just because of something small like this. Remember what happened in Tunisia? They did not need 5 people to be killed in order for them to remove President Ouaziz in power. They only killed one student. Through the death of that one student, it raised up the anger of people of Tunisia. And President Ouaziz left. He had to run his own country from the back door in order for him to go and live somewhere in the Arabic countries. Should I go like this with more stories? Because we have so many of them. What about Mohamed Mubarak, if I'm not mistaken, the former president of Egypt? He was also removed in power through a prostitute. A prostitute starts something as something small, and it ended up becoming a big reality that end up removing a head of the state from the office. So African leaders should try to understand all these things and try to stop these things of imposing things on people, and yet you don't want them to go on the street and try to protest against your decision. If all Africans can understand this, I believe it is then we'll be able to start saying that yes, we're now having that true democracy that we deserve to have in Africa continent. So for me, that is my opinions. Let's just hope for the peace to reign above everything, because we don't want to see innocent people dying. We don't want to see our fellow Africans to die, because we still have a lot that we need to achieve as Africa continent. So we don't want to be having some part of our body getting sick, or people of Africa continent somewhere in Kenya or in Chad, they have to be going through a lot with their own government. No, that is kind of like another strategy the West they can implant or put in place in order for Africans to be always be distracted, instead of us forgetting to focus on things that really make sense. So I believe President Ruto should try to find a proper way to bring peace and try to dose these people off before they remove him in power. Yes. So let's hope that everything will go well, guys. It was very important that we have this conversation with you. That is the reason why we had to approach you, because the actuality requires us to do so. Before you leave, do us a favor, please make sure that you like this video in your number. Give us your thumbs up. We'll really do appreciate. It is a way of you supporting us. By the way, it is free of charge. You're not paying anything for that. It's just a way of you letting this platform to promote this video so that it can reach to many people out there who have also to hear from this kind of message that we're sharing with you at Cool Buzz TV. But if it happened that you find something very beneficial and you would like to hear more from us in our next videos, well, it is very simple. Hit that subscribe button so that whenever we are here live or we upload a video, you'll be able to find out about it. So that's the reason why we're encouraging you to subscribe in your numbers. We'll really do appreciate that. But above all, be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.
better